All right. So the one thing I wanted to bring up was the just about good pixel art styles that we really like. Like I think I for anyone that doesn't know, like I like really love a lot of pixel art stuff. I think there's just a lot of very beautiful like different like styles that go along with it, and there's lots of like a lot of really cool stuff you can find. Even stuff that's not even like from a video game, just something that like people just drew up on the spot can just be really cool. But of course, we do want to talk about some video games that do have some. So yeah, what do you think about like pixel art in general?
So I need to clarify a couple things for myself, but I think it's good discourse anyway. How would you distinguish pixel art from polygons? Like, at what point is there a cutoff of being pixelated versus, like, I guess, realistic?
Well, it's polygons is 3D. And okay, I know this is gonna sound like really stupid, but yeah, it's like polygons 3D and sprites are 2D.
Okay, so basically, if it's in a 2D space, if there is no 3D element, it's considered pixel art or pixelated.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about like a pixelizer effect on a 3D thing. No, I'm not talking about that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I like pixel art. I think it's, there was that debate in the N64 era and the PS1 era about, should we have really switched from 2D to 3D? And a lot of like animations didn't really they haven't held up as well as some of the 16-bit or the 8-bit art styles. So I can definitely appreciate, a good pixel art. And recently going back and playing some of the classics, a la Castlevania or even the Mega Mans lately, you can see that it really has held up, and it can be a real beautiful thing to, take in.
Yeah, no, I agree. And those games, yeah, they have some really, really good pixel art, especially with like Castlevania, with some of the backgrounds on a lot of those games. Freaking love it.
Oh, yeah. Symphony of the Night, Bloodstained, even those PC Engine ones. Well, Dracula X isn't, it's on Super Nintendo, but the Rondo of Blood, yeah,
Yeah.
just, you can see those animations in the background too. Just beautiful stuff. Oh, recently I played Streets of Rage 2. Phenomenal. Just great looking game.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I love that one a lot too. One of my all-time favorites for sure.
Yeah. But I take it you're a big fan of the pixel art then.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And don't get me wrong, like I do like the early 3D stuff too for what it is, but of course, I don't think anything can touch the pixel art stuff. I think that's like top tier shit for me. And yeah, like what are some old like retro games like when I mean retro, I mean like, stuff like before like PS2 and all that. Like would you say would have like some of your favorite like graphical styles?
Well, favorite pixel art styles. Yeah, I'm probably going like Symphony of the Night, Link to
Yep.
the Past.
Yep. That's a good one.
Does would does is Donkey Kong Country considered pixel art? Or is that pre-rendered?
That's yeah, that one's kind of tricky. It's like it has a mixture of like the two, where like it is pre-rendered, but it also like is done like I mean that one also has like 3D too, but it's pre-rendered to look pixelized, and then the backgrounds in it are like yeah, I guess the backgrounds in Donkey Kong Country are pixelized. Yeah, would be pixel art. If you think about it, like I know, like one of my favorite backgrounds in a Donkey Kong Country game is the Bramble Blast from Donkey Kong Country 2, and yeah, the background in that one, like, because I look at it all the time, yeah, like you can tell, like it is pixel art style, but of course it's like heavily detailed, but yeah,
Right. Yeah, and then of the Mega Mans recently, I mean, like Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 5 and 6 look really good. And, also Shinobi 3 is like a really great looking game. I'm thinking of like when they really advanced the six, like they peaked at the 16-bit stuff. I'm not talking because like if you look at Revenge of Shinobi or even like the original Shinobi, the backgrounds look a little dull. But once you start to see like those visual effects and like see what they're able to accomplish with like the waves and everything, it's unforgettable. Really timeless stuff.
Yeah, no, Shinobi 3 is another really great example. Yeah.
How about you?
All right, how about me? So, like, I mean, just to name off like some more like well-known stuff, because I'm gonna have a mixture of two. So when it comes to the more like well-known games, yeah, I would say like yeah, like some of the ones you mentioned, I would definitely put up there as well. And but as for something different, I would say on Sega CD, there's Lunar. Like I think that like looks great. Like I think like that one's really good. Hell, even like the PS1 version looks really good too. But I know in the original Sega CD versions, like all like the animated cutscenes are all done in pixel art style. Where
Oh,
in the PS1 they actually like fully animated them, which also looks really good, mind you. But but there's a certain charm about that original version that does look really cool, and I do really like. And it's very nicely animated.
okay. So is it? I haven't played Lunar. So in the game, is it like an overhead thing? Is it like Final Fantasy or like
Yeah,
Grandia?
yeah, it's like it's overhead. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one. And then another one that's also very well known is Chrono Trigger. I always think the art style in that one is very good. Lots of really cool details that they put into like the map and like the all the different sprite work on the random stuff that you see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm thinking too, of even just the Super Nintendo like RPGs. Earthbound is a pretty good looking Super Nintendo game. I think like the crisp style I really like when it's just not too much going on with colors. Like everything's purposeful, but you understand what like you're looking at. I think when we get into the more
Yeah,
modern
it's
stuff, you'll see
Earthbound is
differences.
more. Oh, sorry.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say Earthbound is more of a simpler style, but it still looks good for like what they're trying to go for, the whole like like the carefree daily modern life kind of thing, which makes sense. Although I do like the backgrounds, like when you're fighting or it's all like trippy and psychedelic. I do kind of like that.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. Oh, and I should mention I'm a big fan of the Pokemons too. So I don't know about the Game Boy ones because I guess Game Boy Advance will be going into PS2 generation, but yeah, those are simpler. I think in the Game Boy, but like once you hit the Game Boy Advance era is when like with Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, like when it really starts to look like the creatures actually look like creatures.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that. And yeah, you know what? You can mention Game Boy Advance. It's fine. Honestly, I was just thinking more consoles than handhelds, to be honest. But yeah. Oh yeah, Pokemon in general. Yeah, I even like the pixel art style in Gen 2, to be honest. Like, even though, like, the little icons of, like, the characters, like, some of them do look the same. But once you actually, like, send out the Pokemon in battle, they do look cool.
Yeah.
Although I always feel like the Pokemon always look cooler when like your opponent puts out a Pokemon more so than seeing like the back of the head of yours.
Oh yeah, agreed. In the first game, yours looks so derpy, and then by comparison, the enemies always have great Pokemon.
Yeah, like I remember, I think it was Zapdos. I remember I had a Zapdos in one of them, and I remember like the back of his head, like he just looked like a star.
Yeah,
It was just
Charizard
funny.
looks pretty dumb from behind, like his like eyes popping out, and but then when you're fighting the Charizard, it's like whoa, that thing's cool. I want
Yeah,
one.
it's like damn, like why couldn't they make my sprite look like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of amusing though, but like for what it is, it's good.
agreed. And then
All
oh, you
right,
know what? Another good one is just throw one more
yeah,
retro one.
go on.
I think monochromatic Link's Awakening on the Game Boy looks really good. It's not that many colors. It's like a few colors because the Game Boy's not producing much. But just like I love how between the environments it'll become like a soft green or a soft blue. It's something that I think that with the 3DS when they started bringing the retro games out and they made them all black and white for the Game Boy releases, that kind of sucked. I think like you miss out on some of that like life through the color, and people don't really talk about that, but It's part of the
Oh, okay. I
experience.
honestly completely forgot about that because I haven't played that game in long, long time.
Well, there was a Game Boy version and a Game Boy Color version, but the thing is, if you play the Game Boy cartridge on a Game Boy Color, it's not outputting in the puke green original, brick Game Boy overlay. And so it actually looks really good. Same with Pokemon. I think Pokemon with like the little shades put on a Game Boy Color is much better.
Okay, because I think the actual cartridge of the Link's Awakening that I have is the DX version, which I think is the Game Boy Color one, right?
It has more colors. It is the Game
Yeah.
Boy Color one.
Okay, yeah, because that's the only one I played. I don't think I ever actually touched like the OG original.
Yeah, it's worth touching, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's a good game. I've always liked that one, but it's just not one I go back to a lot, to be honest. Even though I do love the dungeon music in that game.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what are some more like modern games that use pixel art style that you really like? Because there's been a lot of resurgence with that lately.
Oh, dude, the whole indie scene is basically that. It's basically pixel art.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. I have to blot out the camera.
No worries.
All right, we're good now. Modern games that use pixel art. Obviously the very indie ones like your Shovel Knights, your Golf Story. I think those use it to pretty good extent. Although I don't know if the style is as timeless as it was on the Super Nintendo. It feels a little more like Crayola colored in, but I don't hate it. There was something else I played recently that has a pretty interesting art style. I think Eastward looks pretty good, although I haven't really gotten that much into it. I don't know if you've seen it. It looks more like a cartoon-esque game, but you get the Stardew Valley kind of vibes.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean now. Yeah.
I do think. Oh, Owl Boy, that was a really good looking one.
Yeah. That's a really good. I actually forgot about that game. That's a good one.
Yeah, I sold it unfortunately, but that was a VG mashup recommendation. I ended up enjoying it. But yeah, great looking game. I don't know. What are some of yours?
Okay. I have two I can think of off the top of my head. So one of them is a game that really took me by surprise. It was a game called Kaze and the Wild Masks. I don't know if you know that one.
The wind or something? Or yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like a bunny
Yeah, it's
looking
like
thing.
it's like a blue bunny that you
Yeah.
use, and it's a 2D platformer. And the game basically plays like Donkey Kong Country because it's a lot of like a fast-paced platforming and lots of like sort of like barrel things you gotta jump through. Of course, in this game they're not barrels, but but like has a lot of that type of stuff that you do in DKC, and it's great and it's fun. And yeah, but anyways, yeah, the pixel art style in that game is just really, really good. Like very high res, lots of cool, great animation to like the enemies.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. I see it all the time, like for PS4, the physical copy floating around.
Yeah, it's a cheap game. Like even like physically, like it's not like that expensive either. Like I was like, wow, that's a steal for that shit. Because I think it's really good. It is a little on the short side. Like I did wish there was a bit more levels, but I still think like the levels are still like really well made, and and it still took me like a little bit to play through. I think my playtime here is like 5 hours. So hey, like
That's a quick one. Ooh, you know what else? You saw me streaming it the other day. Blaster Master Zero is a pretty good looking game overall.
yeah, I'd say that one's pretty good. I like that one.
What do you think about the whole 2D HD craze right now?
2D HD.
Like Octopath Traveler or I Am Setsuna or Live Alive?
Okay, yeah. You're talking like the ones where like it looks sort of 3D-ish,
Yeah,
but
it
like it's
looks.
still.
Yeah, they look like little cutouts walking down when the sunlight, just perpetually over their heads.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's definitely unique and something we haven't really seen much like before then because, there wasn't really a lot of stuff like. In fact, I find that style kind of like reminds me of like a pop-up book, which I think is
Mm,
cool because, pop-up books are rad.
yeah.
But no, I do think it's pretty cool. The only thing I will say about them, and this isn't like a huge complaint, but sometimes I do feel like that like well, I do think it's cool that they do have a lot of like weather effects and and the like and the sprites like really shine off of it. I know there are some times where like when I was playing through Octopath and Live Alive remake and that like sometimes like the shine on like the light from like the sun is like super bright.
Hmm.
It's a little overwhelming, but despite that, though, I do think it's cool looking, and I do think it's very interesting. And yeah, like I said before, like up until now, I've never seen like other games do that. Like even on like PS1 with all the weird shit that I discover on there that are also in 2D. Like I've never seen something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I've never tried any of these games, but I would be interested in trying. And I Am Setsuna seemed like the one I probably want to try a little more. But I would do Octopath Traveler. I know it's pretty hyped. So,
Octopath Traveler I liked, but I didn't love it. Like it has like I don't want to go from like full length review on it, but I will just say that like it's a good like combat. Like I like that. I just think the story in it is a little hit and miss for me. Like some character stories are really good, and then there's some that like just didn't care about.
yeah, I could see that. Live Alive, though, that looks, I mean, similar idea, I guess, playing as different characters, but I would be interested to just see
I,
like, how
I
it plays.
personally, yeah, personally, I like Live Alive a lot better. For me, because I liked all like the character stories pretty much. I thought they all had something interesting to offer. But I will go out and say that that game does kind of have some like every story kind of has its like weird gimmick, and some of
Mm,
those gimmicks do kind of make it seem not so like RPG like, which is interesting. But that's kind of what I like about it. It's the fact that it's so offbeat.
mm,
But yeah, like it's one of those because for an example, there's a story of like one character where like there's like no combat in it like at all.
mm-hmm.
Like it's pretty much like a visual novel, but if you're like walking around kind of thing.
Okay.
But but the story in that part is very like good, very good narrative and everything. So it definitely makes it worth it. It's just like you could pick that story and you're just like, man, like where's all the RPG stuff?
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Before we move on, one other game I do wanted to bring up real quick that I like really love the art style for that is done in pixel art and it is newer is Toho Luna Nights.
Mm,
This is a Metroidvania game, one of the very few I actually beat, and I can say that not only is the game really good, but also the graphics in this game are just really nice looking. Like I love like the backgrounds, like the animation with everything. It looks very silky smooth. This game almost looks like a PC 98 game if it was on steroids.
okay. Toho Luna Nights. I know Toho is a big series, but I really don't know much about it. It's like witches or something.
Okay, it's a little confusing to sum it up. Well, I can probably do it a little bit, but basically the Toho series like started out as like a series of shoot 'em ups on PC 98, but then like the creator of the series like basically like was like, you know what? Like you guys, you can do whatever you want with it now. So then now there's like a bunch of like games that are being made with like the characters and the thing like all like the properties but they're like completely different from different developers and stuff like like you got like roguelike ones like someone even made a Pokemon clone with
Oh.
Toho which is kind of interesting but yeah but someone yeah, for this one Toho Luna Nights it's a Metroidvania and it has a lot of really cool little abilities in it that you can use like you can actually like stop time for like a short bit and what's cool is that like your character throws knives and if you stop time while you're in the middle of throwing a knife you could actually like jump on like the knife and then use that to like get up to like higher places that you couldn't normally reach.
Nice.
It uses a lot of really cool stuff like that, and I think it was really cool. And the other thing I liked about it too, for me personally, is that even though like it is a Metroidvania, it's not like overwhelming with like the amount of rooms you gotta like clear out. I feel like it's pretty accessible for people like me who like get like mentally lost.
Yeah. And the problem with those two is you take a break and then you forget everything that you got and like what what's the next step and stuff. So it's
Oh
good to
yeah.
have one that's approachable as far as the adventuring goes.
Oh yeah, but no, I really adored it a lot. Like I was like, wow, like not only does this game like look really great, but it plays really great, and it was basically made for like people like me who aren't like super like crazy about the explore. Not I shouldn't say it's not super crazy, but just who's not good at the exploration aspect. But I
Yeah.
will say the boss battles in the game are can be pretty tough though.
Okay. Cool. Let's look into
Yeah.
Toho Luna Nights.
Yeah, I would recommend it for sure. I think it's very, very fun.
Nice.
And it probably is like one of the better like Toho like games that I've played because I played a couple of them and yeah, there's a couple I played that are kind of crappy. And then there were some that were decent, but that one is definitely like my favorite that I've played.
It sounds like a good starting off point for that series.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't really have to play them in order. In fact, there's really no order to them because they don't connect at all. Because
It would just suck to play a shitty one first. And then
Oh yeah, because I know there was another Metroidvania one that came before that one called like forget it was like Double Trouble something. I don't remember. It came with the Wanderer one there because they packaged like two games in one. I remember that one was like not good. In fact, the art style in that one like looked like a mobile game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of it looked really cheap and low budget kind of thing.
Okay.
And it just wasn't too great. But yeah, no, like the Luna Knights, so that one, like, yeah, it just looks great.
Good to know. Well, Toho.
Yeah, just like the Godzilla company.
Oh, Toho.
Yeah.
Classic.
But well, I think it might be spelled slightly different, but still.
Yeah, I think the one you're talking about has U's in it. TOUHOU or something. The game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to the
All
next
right.
part?
The next part is we got two more. They're kind of similar. So this one is what are some of your favorite backgrounds and settings within some of these pixel art games?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm seeing the gameplay behind me, and like this treasure level and freaking Super Castlevania 4 was like when you see the ghosts freaking floating up. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking even what was I playing? I was playing Golden Axe 2 earlier, and then like you're in a volcano, and then the like background's like swishing fire behind you. That was super cool.
Oh yeah.
I think of like the Sonic game that impresses me the most is Sonic 3. And I
Oh, that's
think
another good one.
Hydro City is like really just when you're rushing along those water like it's such a good looking game in general, but that stage and also when Emerald Island just what is it? Angel Island just sets a
Yeah.
flame in the first zone and like because in the act 2 of it, like that machine just starts spewing fire or something, or when
Yep.
like the Zeppelin's floating over. Oh man, that's a really good segment.
Yeah, I love that too. Yeah, that one is very, very cool. I also will go and say I also do like the background within the carnival stage. As much as I hate that level, I do think that background is very, very cool and kind of ominous too, especially when like the lights go out.
Oh, when the lights go out, it's the best part. Yes, it's
Yeah.
like similar. They really mess with your expectations.
Yeah, no, I want to mention that one because I do think that one's pretty cool, even though that area is frustrating.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then also Castlevania Bloodlines. There's a couple. So one is with the rising like water segment. Another's with like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then the last one is in the final Dracula battle.
Yeah, yeah,
Incredible.
those are all very cool. Especially the Leaning Tower of Pisa is very iconic. I feel like that's probably like the most impressive looking part of that game. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree that.
Yeah.
What are
All
you
right.
thinking of?
As for my backgrounds, well, I don't really have like specific games. Well, I mean, I guess these like could be, but the thing is that like a lot of these like I don't even like remember where the hell they came from because like I've said like before, like I collect like a bunch of like random like screenshots from like random like games that I just like, oh, I love the look of this. I'm gonna keep it. And sometimes I even use some of them for thumbnails, so yeah, so for the editing on this, you might have to like save these pictures and them on the screen for other people to see them, but this is from a PC98 game, which, I'm surprised I haven't really talked too much about that lately, but I guess I'm going to talk about it now. But like, yeah, look at this picture.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like look at all like the bright colors, like look all like the different like details and the random stuff they threw into the background. Like it's cool looking, right?
Mm-hmm. It literally looks like it was on the PC too, and then the shadow effects are really good.
Yeah, no, like I love like this type of stuff. Like I wish more like indie devs would make games with like this sort of style. I know it's hard. I do understand that, but like if someone like made like was doing that type of stuff, like I'd be all for it. I know there's like a visual novel that came out in recent years that looks similar to this. I just forget the name of it right now, so I know there is someone out there who can do it. It's just, just don't know much else more. But yeah, like I love that like backgrounds like this. In fact, I just love backgrounds where it's just a random like bedroom with like no one in it. It's just random like objects. Like you just kind of just want to look around and see and all this and that. In fact, this one I'll send over too is also very cool looking. Is right here.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you
Wow.
got some
Oh
like
the
Sailor Moon.
yeah, and then the Power Rangers in the window.
Yeah, like I just think it's cool. Like, and also another thing I like about like looking at stuff like this is because it's the cool to see like little references to other things. Yeah, like you said, like the Power Rangers, the Sailor Moon, and there's also other ones I've seen where like you can actually see like a PlayStation or a Super Nintendo like randomly chilling out.
Oh yeah, that's a classic when you like start off a Pokemon game and then they have like the modern home console plugged up to the TV.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot like that. Yeah. No, I just love like backgrounds like that. Like I just think they're very cool looking.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my honorable. Like I said, like I'm like I know I think I don't remember where these screenshots come from. I know they're from PC98 games. It's just unfortunately I don't have them like marked down. I'm like, okay, this thing is from this thing, but yeah, it's in generally though, I just love like backgrounds that are, like I said, just like rooms with no people in it. Well, I guess one of them has a cat in it, but fuck it. Yeah, rooms with no people in it, just random like people stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. And the final thing I want to get into is I don't know if anyone else thinks like too much about this, but like sometimes like there's a lot of old games out there. I don't know what it is, but a lot of older games always had like really cool like UI like borders of like a menu system, like whether it be for combat or like the inventory, like whenever you press triangle on RPG or something. There's a lot of really cool like UIs that were in like those older games. But I feel like nowadays it's very rare that you'll actually see like a really like cool looking one. I feel like.
Mm.
So is there any UI borders that you can think of that you really like or one that sticks out?
I just remember in Pokemon Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire that you could customize the color of the border box, and because the visual style is already so simple, just that little touch was really nice. And then
Yeah.
you could change like the banners to the menu too. I don't remember exactly what, but it was like different like Pokemon poses and stuff. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I actually forgot you can do that in Pokemon. I know there's a lot of like RPGs that came out before that where you can do that with, and I kind of forgot that Pokemon actually carried that over until like way later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's a cool one.
What are you thinking of?
One from me that comes to my mind, and I don't think you said. I think you said that like you haven't played the series yet. Not that I can remember, but it's the East games, and
Mm.
specifically, I'm talking about East Book 1 and 2, and
Mm.
I got this picture pulled up just so you can get like an idea. But
Is
I
that the
love.
DS version?
No, this is the Chronicles version, which is
Because
like the newest one
there
that you
was like
can
a
get.
DS remake of Book 1 and 2. So that's why I was
There
like,
Yeah, yeah, there is, and yeah, this game does look like the actual gameplay graphics look similar to that one, but the thing is, it doesn't have this cool epic border.
okay, yeah, that's different. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, like I love like the whole look like you look around like the side of the screen here, like you got those little vines which are very detailed, and then around like the health bar you have like the two angels that look like statues. I just think that's just really awesome.
So do you ever take these and use these for your videos?
Yeah, actually, I do. Yeah, I actually used a couple of them, like in my top NES games, and I do plan on using it for all the other ones that I do plan on doing. There was that little like vine with like the stone background. Yeah, that's from a PC 98 game. I forget which one right now, but I use that one. Yeah.
Oh, neat. That's cool.
Yeah, I wish I could like make my own like little like fancy borders like this. Like even like if it will never get used for a video game, I just wish I could just make them and just use them for whatever.
Right. Yeah, that kind of like visual graphic design would be awesome.
Yeah, no, because I think it just looks really dope and awesome. And plus, I'm always a sucker for like I said, like little like carved out statues of something that just has a lot of detail.
Hmm.
Yeah. Is there any other one that comes to your mind?
I mean, I guess like I don't know. Like recently, I haven't seen it as much because I've been playing my modern consoles. But I did see in Symphony of the Night you can like change the window color. Like you can do RGB. Like you can
Yep.
customize the number and to affect like the color of the menu, and then also Alucard's cape. There's like a specific cape that you get. It's not really the overlay, but I think that's a cool little customization feature that added to the
Oh
game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can make his cape lime green.
Yep, you can do that to the inside and out, so you can make it whatever contrast you want.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
Otherwise,
I
I'm
guess
gonna have to keep my eyes peeled because now I want to get one for one of my videos.
yeah. Well, here's a very cool looking one. Like I'll just share one more. This is one from a visual novel on PC 98. This one I actually do have the name of it. It's called Marine Rouge, and it's right here.
Hmm.
Like look at that. Like they have like a whole like flower like tropical background, and it just has like very nice colors.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
And then like at the bottom, like there's actual like symbols for like the options, which I think are kind of cute looking.
Yeah, you could easily put like, comment, subscribe, or something in there.
Yeah, yeah, you could. Yeah, I actually find the little like yellow dude kind of looks like the AOL thing.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I just love like just different stuff like that. And of course, there's like a bajillion other ones I could share, but we'd be here forever. But yeah, no, I just wanted to talk about saying that I feel like there's a bit of a lost art with like UIs and menu systems.
Yeah, for sure. Like these little touches make the experience that much more favorable. But also, like, I mean, how many like modern retro looking games are we playing? Like, I'm playing some, but you know, I guess it would be nice to see more of them. So I can agree with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, I mean, I've been playing a few. I just think the thing is that most of the ones, like games I've been playing that are like retro inspired, like they just don't really have like menus really, or like they do, but not like really anything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, Chris. Loved me a good tea cast segment, and I think you nailed it. You brought some hot tea.
I nailed it.
You nailed it. Excellent.